like I say, people are going to want to see you, but they also want to see content, but they're going to want to see content from the authentic you. My personality can change. I can be zen and meditating 1 minute. I can be throwing F-bombs around it the next. It depends on what gets me fired up and how I react. And people are getting the true me.
Welcome to the Fitpreneurs, the show that will help you flex your business muscles so you can make more money and live the life you really want. No more complaining, whining, or being a wimp. It's time to pump up your fitness business and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. So no girly men or lazy ladies allowed. It's time for me to do some push-ups and turn things over to your host, Simon Lovell.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Fitpreneurs, and it is episode 33. Welcome as always. I'm actually live in Bali right now. My Platinum Mastermind is at the end of the month, and I'm here for 6 weeks, chilling out. Got a villa just coming into the evening, and about to head out for a nice meal. But I wanted to record this episode for you, which I'm super excited about today, which is all about Periscope. If you don't know what Periscope is, you are going to be blown away by this amazing social media platform that's going to really, really assist you and your business moving forward over the next few months and beyond. I believe that Periscope is the next big thing, and going by all of the companies who are on board with Periscope, which I'm going to talk about later, I'm sure you're going to be in agreement. As always, guys, please head to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. I love reading those reviews on iTunes. Also, do add me on Twitter at BoyLovell. You can also, of course, head to the Facebook page at the Fitpreneurs. And as you can hear behind me, there's a lot of motorbikes and scooters in Bali. That is the main mode of transport. So I don't know whether you can hear that or not. Maybe not be able to hear it. But we've got lots of scooters going by at the moment. Anyway, this episode is going to be a bit different. Because I'm going to want you to do specific things during the episode. So one of the key things you're going to want to do, first of all, is, if you don't have it already, get Periscope. So what you want to do right now is maybe pause this episode, okay, and grab out your phone and download the Periscope app. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you don't sign up with the phone number, because you'll regret that long term. Trust me. Use the Twitter, okay? There's actually 2 profiles of mine on Periscope, and you're going to want to follow at BoyLovell. Or if you just go for search in Periscope, you're going to want to find BoyLovell. B-O-Y, that's boy, L-O-V-E-L-L. That's actually my nickname from quite a few years ago when I first started working on video games magazines. Oh, back to those days. And so you're going to want to get Periscope on your iPhone or Android. Download it first of all so you can actually see and follow me, because as much as you're going to learn stuff during this episode, you're also going to want to follow me and also see what I'm doing. That's a great way to learn. So download the Periscope app. If you need to, pause this episode, find BoyLovell, B-O-Y-L-O-V-E-L-L, and follow me. And that's the first step before really we do anything else. And then we're going to be starting moving on. So first of all, you're probably wondering, what the hell, Simon, is Periscope? And you know, the first time I was made aware of this platform was actually when I was on Necker Island with Richard Branson. It was actually I think it was a day afterwards, and I was having a conversation with someone there, and he said, "Did you know anything about Periscope?" And I said, I didn't, and he showed me it, and I was like, oh my God, I have got to get on this platform. And basically what it is, you know, you've got things like Facebook, which allow you to update, you know, your status instantly. You've got YouTube, where you can put videos online. You've obviously got Twitter. This application is by Twitter, okay? And it basically allows you to instantly broadcast live via video to the world. And it's got a lot of amazing capabilities to it. I'm going to be talking about that in this episode. So as you log in to Periscope, now that you've got access to it, and again, if you haven't already, you're going to want to download Periscope, add BoyLovell, and go to the search bar and add up BoyLovell, B-O-Y-L-O-V-E-L-L. If you go to the main button on your left, you're going to see basically who is live right this second, that you could click on them and actually view exactly what they're doing. Now, you're going to be able to see people who are, wandering down the high street, maybe somewhere. I did a Periscope just today, and I was by the beach having lunch with one of my clients, Neil, and I broadcast that. And it basically instantly allows you to dive anywhere across the world to see what people are doing. I've seen people on surfboards using this. Now, something which I should make clear on that is, if you've got a decent connection, 4G, then you're going to be able to broadcast. On particular 3G connections, I don't think it works very well, but ideally you're going to need to be on Wi-Fi. So, this is opening up, being able to really get into people's worlds very, very instantly. It works via your phone, and as I've mentioned, the app, and it just links to your camera. So you can instantly go live, you can broadcast exactly what you're doing. For you guys, Fitpreneurs who are wanting to market your business, it's an absolutely amazing platform that if you jump on it now, trust me, okay, if you jump on this now, you're going to be well ahead of the game. And there are going to be certain fears. We're going to talk about this in this episode. There's going to be certain issues that you might have with broadcasting. You're not going to know what to say, that type of thing. But trust me, once you start to get over that fear and start to use the platform, you're going to really separate yourself from other trainers. And that's what really building a business, a decent business is about, is really doing things that most people aren't willing to do. And so basically, you just links to your phone, you can broadcast live, and you are there instantly broadcasting to the world. And I'm actually going to do a live Periscope while I'm doing this podcast. And it will then allow my Periscope viewers, and you may be able to catch the replay of this, it allows my Periscope viewers to now watch me recording this episode, so they're getting behind the scenes. And this is why Periscope is so powerful, because imagine, these TV shows like Big Brother, it brings people live into situations where they wouldn't normally be able to get access. Now, if you think about how the media can use this, a lot of news channels are broadcasting before they go live. A big story is going to hit, and seconds before they broadcast that story, they're using Periscope to get the story out there before it gets broadcast to the nation. And I saw Disney's very first broadcast, live from the Magic Kingdom. So they've started using it now. A lot of celebrities, I've seen Duncan Ballantyne from Dragon's Den using Periscope. And of course, people want an insight into people's lives. And what you will find is that once you start to get a following, people start to get hooked on it. Okay, people start to get hooked on, seeing what's happening. And it's that voyeur type thing. People want to get behind the scenes to see really what's happening. So, we've talked a little about what is Periscope and why it's powerful. I'm going to be talking more about that during the episode. So how does it work? It basically links to your, through 4G, through Wi-Fi, through to your, I've got an iPhone, or whether you're on Android, you can use that too. And yeah, you're instantly able to start chatting, sharing what you're doing. Obviously, when it comes to business, you're going to want to use it to put out content, put out value, because the more value that you put out there to the world, okay, the more that builds trust. And Periscope is such a fantastic way to build trust very quickly. But also, people get to see your personality, and that's really important too. Actually, I've found that, in the time that I've been doing Periscope, it does help me, and it will help you, become more in alignment with who you are. Because when you go on Periscope, you can't, over time, what you find is you can't put on this persona for too long. So people get the authentic you. And that's actually a really good thing. Many of you will have huge resistance to that. But again, as I mentioned, overcoming these things is such an important thing when it comes to growing your business, because people want to connect with you, your wacky personality, your quirky side. And, I talked with Wesley a couple of episodes ago, the last episode, about that authenticity. And I've talked about this in length on the Fitpreneurs, about the importance of that. So this is a really, what I believe to be a very, very important leap in technology. I believe, and it's sad to say that this is going to be used for a lot of bad. People manipulating people. I think if you think about terrorism, you think about things where, I'm sure there's going to be people, if we're just brutally honest, there's going to be people, unfortunately, going to be taking their own lives and that type of thing. However, Periscope is also going to be used for a lot of good. And we're already seeing a lot of that happening with the broadcasts that people are doing. And people are liking my broadcast, but it also allows people to see into my life, and people want to see what I'm doing. The trips to Necker Island, the trips here to Bali, it now allows me to share some of my life that I choose to the people that are interested in following the Simon Lovell and the Fitpreneur brand. So I think it's a very important step in not only technology but also allowing Fitpreneurs, fitness professionals, you guys, to really start to really connect at a much deeper level with those that follow you, your existing clients, people that haven't already invested in you. And so that's why I think it's really going to be so critical that all of you guys, at least at a baseline level, start to adopt Periscope into your business. I've not been a massive fan of Twitter. I've just not. I've built $1 million coaching business in 2 years, and I don't have a massive Twitter following. However, because Periscope has come along and is linked with Twitter, there's a direct benefit to, building your Twitter following, and that's actually what I'm going to start doing more recently. Most of my business has been built through, of course, referrals, but mainly through Facebook, and that's what I teach my clients to do is how to get a lot of business and shift their businesses fast on Facebook, but also implementing other platforms like email marketing, webinars, and things like Periscope. And I was in a recent chat, in fact, with one of my coaches, and we were talking about the most popular social media platforms. Facebook is up there alongside Twitter. YouTube also is a huge social media platform. But as I mentioned at the start of this episode, the challenge with all of these is that you don't instantly get there via video and connect at this level. Another huge benefit of Periscope, guys, is that if you imagine, if I send an email out, but that gets goes through a spam filter, doesn't even find you, or maybe it's the wrong timing. There's lots of or a post on Facebook, for example, and you're not there at that time, then you're not going to see the message. With Periscope, if I was to send you a text message, that's going to instantly be there on your smartphone, and people are on their phones all the time. So the benefit of Periscope is that people are, and I notice people, they're watching, my Periscopes instantly. Okay, so it's a great way to get to people very, very fast, but you've got to be doing the right thing, and that's actually why I've started to develop a program called Fitproscope at fitproscope.com. To teach the techniques around Periscope. Because if you do it properly, okay, if you build your followers properly, if you say the right things, if you structure the content in the right way, if you tap into the authentic you, you're really going to be able to build out a really good business, which is in alignment with you as an authentic trainer. So, why are a lot of people going to avoid it? Well, of course, there's going to be fear. You may be listening to this and you may not have put a video out there yet. Why do most people not do that? Well, they have a lot of fear around judgment from others. What am I going to look like? And this is completely normal, guys. If you are going to want to use Periscope, then you are going to want to overcome the fears that you might have around this kind of judgment. And for those of you who are willing to overcome the fears around, being in front of camera and, being yourself, then as I mentioned before, it's going to be a huge benefit. So, there's going to be a certain amount of you that are going to be interested in watching people on Periscope. You guys are going to be interested in getting more tips and advice from me. There's only, and let's be honest, there's only be a certain amount of you that are going to want to actually use Periscope. But as I mentioned before, if you do this, if you overcome the fear that most people will avoid it for, then you're going to have a huge benefit over most people. I actually want to talk about a couple of things, but what I'm actually going to be doing is doing a live Periscope right now. So I'm actually going to set one up. So basically what you do is once you've got the Periscope screen up, there's a little button, 3 buttons in, and they're doing regular updates. You're going to want to keep, because it's a new platform, there's going to be a couple of bugs. That's only going to be normal. So, things are changing all the time, and as the platform evolves, then there's going to be more improvements, and there's been some really good improvements so far since I've been using the platform. So basically, you've got the phone here, you've got the screen, and then 3 buttons in, there's a little square button, sort of square, and it's got a little red dot on it, and that is the one you're going to want to hit if you want to do a live broadcast. So I'm going to hit this now. And it's going to say, what are you seeing now? So I am now going to specifically put in, basically, live Fitpreneurs podcast on Periscope, okay? So I'm going to just type this in here now. So live, I'm going to try this while holding the podcast mic. Live. Here we go. Live Fitpreneurs podcast episode on Periscope. Okay, so I've typed in live Fitpreneur podcast episode on Periscope. And now it's got a big red button at the bottom which basically says start broadcast. And then there's a few different buttons. There's one which, if it's pressed, will let people know where in the world you're broadcasting from. There's another one in which is a lock. Okay, and that basically allows you to invite only certain people to the episode. The next one in is whether you want to have chat on or not. And guys, Periscope is about interaction. It's about getting people to chat and interact with you. It's not just about you broadcasting. It's about having people, interact, talk, relay information and get opinions, okay? And there's also another button on the right, which is a little Twitter button. And that will basically let people know that I'm broadcasting. So it pushes it out into different places. That's one of the most important things when it comes to building your first 100 followers on Periscope, is drawing people in from other platforms that you're already on. Because not a lot of people know about Periscope. Think about it for your market, okay? People who want to lose weight, for example. This may be the first time you've heard of Periscope, so I'm educating you now on Periscope so that you come onto the platform. And that is a key thing to do with a new platform that most people don't know about and hasn't had its boom phase yet. Okay, it's not had the boom phase, but it's coming up. Or, depending on when you're listening to this, it may have had the boom phase. So, you've got to educate people and let them know why they should come onto Periscope. And now you guys know the benefits. So all I'm going to do now is hit to start the broadcast. I'm going to double tap the screen. And now the light is in the way. If I get the light out of the way here. Now I'm actually broadcasting live on Periscope while doing the Fitpreneurs podcast. Okay, so now I'm going to tell the guys on Periscope that I've actually been doing an intro all about Periscope, and now I'm demonstrating how to set up a Periscope for the Fitpreneurs podcast. So now what's happening is the guys are jumping on and watching me, and it says in the bottom right corner the amount of people that have jumped on, and now I'm getting some hearts. Now these hearts, thank you guys very much for the hearts. So these hearts are basically guys showing me appreciation, hopefully, for I'm doing a good job. So I've got some awesome pink hearts. I've got some yellow hearts. And this is basically the currency of Periscope. So when the guys give me hearts, and someone says, because we love you, and 2 kisses. So now Robert is interacting with me as I'm doing this podcast, and people are watching me live on Periscope, and I'm getting people giving me hearts. Now, I think I've got 40,000 hearts already, which means that, hopefully, I've done a good job in providing content and value, which is what the platform is all about, okay? So the guys are now watching me, and it's showing me RDX Fitness has just arrived, other people are still giving me hearts, and also, other people are going to be coming on who are not my followers, people who are watching that have maybe sat in Los Angeles or in another country that have seen this title. And that is another key element of Periscope, guys, is the title of your Periscopes. And that's why learning copywriting is really important, to actually name your Periscopes that are going to draw people in. Now, of course, if you've got followers already and people like and trust you, they may jump on a Periscope just because you're on a Periscope, and maybe they know that you're on there once a day or so. But for people that don't know you, naming your Periscopes to draw people in, for example, if you're doing weight loss tips, and you're going to want to name things that are going to create curiosity. So you don't want to be naming your Periscopes about something irrelevant. So, for example, people are commenting now. Someone's saying, RDX is saying, just got a shout out on the podcast. Woo. So, it's a great way to get people excited. So now people are giving me hearts, people are jumping on, but other people around the world may be jumping on who don't know me. So people need to know now, hi, this is Simon Lovell. I'm a fitness business mentor and coach. Head to my website, simonlovell.co.uk. So people who don't know and like and trust me can find out what I'm about. And of course, some people may jump on and this may be completely irrelevant. So I'm going to want to name my Periscopes relevant to the audience that I'm listening to. So this podcast was named, Fitpreneurs podcast on the topic of Periscope. So people know, the guys watching know that, it's not perfectly set up. I've got the podcast mic here. I'm actually standing still very carefully because there was a connection problem with the podcast mic and it actually cut out. So I'm so hoping that it's all being recorded now, but I'm hoping that it doesn't get cut out. So you can't get much more live and real than this right now. I'm doing an episode of the Fitpreneurs podcast. It's live on Periscope. People are watching me, and that allows the guys watching this to get access to the information faster. And now you guys may listen also to the Fitpreneurs episode and be like, I was watching that live on Periscope. This creates a whole new dimension of interactivity. It creates a whole new dimension of people connecting with me. And this is so important for what you can do to separate yourselves when it comes to being a Fitpreneur. One of the key things that I want to talk about is your profile. I see some people who have their profile and they use a picture, for example, of their logo, or they name it their business. A big mistake I made was signing up with the Twitter, as I mentioned, with the phone number. And now I've got 2 profiles on there, and actually it's so important to link it to Twitter because the companies are connected. But when it comes to your profile, you're going to want to name your profile and put a picture of you. Why? Because people connect with you. So that's really important that you use a picture of yourself. And also, if you're training people regionally, then you're going to want to put, personal trainer in, Exeter, Bristol, Los Angeles, the specific area, because then people are going to start going into Periscope and typing in, if someone was looking for a trainer in a specific area, it's going to pick up the information in your profile. So, I in my profile, I specifically help personal trainers with fitness marketing. Fitness marketing is a common phrase that people use for searching for, people don't type in fitness mentor. People may type in fitness coach, but when it comes to search, people are going to use fitness marketing. That's going to be the key phrase. So have a think about that when it comes to naming and using your profile. And I definitely recommend switching out your logo. People don't give a shit about your logo, guys. They want to see you. They want to see the face of the person that they're interacting with. Also, you need to bear in mind that because Periscope is an interactive platform, now if someone pops up with a comment, as much as I appreciate everyone making a comment, it makes it a lot more personal if I'm saying, hey, Joe, or hey, Bob, or hey, Chris, or hey, Jim, or hey, Sarah, or hey, Joe, as opposed to the business name, okay? So, there is this talk, and questioning all the time on do I name my, do I use, name my Periscope, my business name, my personal name. If you think about the reason why people are connecting, it's the benefit is of connecting with you as a named brand. So I wouldn't do Periscope on, say, name it the Fitpreneurs, even though people know me. I'm going to want to keep it to Simon Lovell. Why? Well, because if I change and go into a different market and do something different, people are still connecting with me here. and I'm going to change. If I want to promote something different, then they're going to want to connect with me, not a logo and a brand. So that's just my personal view on building brands. And what I'm doing right now is I'm cross-promoting Simon Lovell and Fitpreneurs as a different, as a company for Fitpreneurs, but also using the credibility of Simon Lovell that I've built up over the past 2 years and cross-promoting it, which is key. So just a little, a few couple of things. And guys, you guys watching this on Periscope now, when I asked what are your questions in a moment, so Robert said, ask people to put their name after the question. That's a good tip. And so I'm now getting some good interaction from the guys watching. Guys, in about a few minutes, I'm going to ask you what your biggest Periscope question is, which I'll help, if I can, answer it. If you can answer those as quick as you can, because we're doing this recording of the Fitpreneurs, so I don't want a load of space in there. So just hold on for a moment with your question about Periscope, and then when I ask the question in a moment, have it ready and type it in, and we'll get the conversation going. So I'm going to ask you, and not right now, in a moment, what's your biggest question about Periscope? Okay, so guys, I want to give you some ideas of what you can do to once you start broadcasting on Periscope. I've been using it to showcase some offers rarely, but really it's about me giving awesome content. At the moment, I've got a series running called 101 Fitness Business Tips, and I'm on part 6. Part 6 is coming up, and people are really enjoying those tips and advice, and so I've created a series. I've also shared just when I've been out and about. I've shared when I've got a new villa here. And guys, as much as you can, show people your personal life, it's very important, to keep people following you. People are going to want to see you, what you're doing. But they've got to know that they're going to get some value from you. So if you're constantly just, you're there in your living room chatting about stuff that's insignificant, then people are going to end up unfollowing you. They're going to end up not wanting to see the notifications. People need that anticipation that what's Simon going to do today? What's he going to provide? What value is he going to provide? And I guarantee that the guys coming on, they know that they're going to get value from me. They know that they're going to get content. They know that they're going to get things that they can implement instantly into their business. And these are going to be some of the tips that I'm going to give you guys live on Periscope now, but also you guys on the episode listening. So one of the first things, I think, and one of the easiest steps is Q&As. They're the easiest things to do. You can do these on Facebook. You can do grab an image and just put, I'm doing a 30-minute Q&A. What's your top questions? But Periscope is a fantastic way to do a live Q&A, and I occasionally do this. Now, you've got to know your topic. You've got to know the answers. However, if you don't know the answer to something, if someone asks me a question about Periscope now and I don't know the answer, because I'm still building, and I'm good at marketing, so I can build my following, but there's going to be certain things that I don't know, so I will just be honest and say I don't know the answer. But you've got to know your topic, guys. So if you're going to start by doing it your very first Periscope, you're going to want to basically talk about a topic that you're super passionate about and that inside out, because then if you do a Q&A around this topic, so you might do Q&A on belly fat, for example, might do Q&A on snacks, or Q&A on muscle building, for example. Whatever is the biggest thing that you're most competent about talking about. I think I've got so skilled in sales, marketing, and business now that people could throw me pretty much any question and I'll be able to answer it. There's definitely certain things that I wouldn't be able to answer on, but anything around lead generation, making sales, building, doubling, tripling a fitness business very quickly, I know it's like wired into my body. So I'm very confident about doing these Periscopes. So Q&As are a fantastic thing to do. Occasionally, guys, you're also going to want to promote your website. So I'm going to say now, guys, if you've just joined Periscope, welcome to everyone that's been following me. But if you're new, then head to simonlovell.co.uk, apply for your free strategy session, and we'll find out where you are, where you want to get to, and really the true potential that you have in your fitness business, and take it to the next level. So you're going to want to, while you're doing your broadcasts, you're going to want to promote yourself. You're going to want to put yourself out there, and that's completely fine as long as you are providing content. And Guys, if you're enjoying the content now, double tap the screen and give me some hearts. I want to see those hearts. As always, I do a heart competition, and those who give me the most hearts, I will give you a follow. And now I'm getting the hearts from the guys, and they're showing me. Guys, keep double tapping the screen. Also, if you want to share it with a Fit Pro that you know, swipe up and hit the share button. Maybe you want to share with all of your friends and get them involved in the conversation. You can do that right now to bring your friends in. Guys, I appreciate it. Also, welcome to Mighty CBU has just joined. Welcome. Number 2 is workouts. Think about it. People like to see workouts. So you can set up your phone, get a stand, put it in the gym, and just record, a new workout that you're doing or a workout series. Okay, so this is a fantastic thing that you can do, and use your personality. If you're in great shape, then you're going to want to show that off. Okay, so the next one is live testimonials. This is something which I started doing. I was with Neil. We went up to his gym, showed people around his gym. He gave awesome tips and advice. It was one of my most popular Periscopes that I've done. And you can't fake that stuff. If you've got someone who has been working with you and, you're like, oh my God, she's like on fire. She just lost this amount of weight. She's on a high. She's feeling great about herself. It's like, do you mind if we just do a quick Periscope and share with people this awesome story? Once you've got a following and you're doing live testimonials, guys, it's next level. It's next level stuff. A lot of my business has been built around the results that I get. If you go to simonlovell.co.uk/testimonials, you'll see video after video after video after video of testimonials. And those are fantastic. Those are great. People can go and see those all the time. Businesses doubling, tripling, quadrupling fast. However, live testimonials, you've got someone who's speaking there and then. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, clients are going to have some fear around that. So you need to pre-frame well, and it needs to be the kind of client that's not going to be really shy. So you're going to have some personalities that are going to want to go on camera, and you're definitely going to get some personalities that are going to say, no, absolutely not, I'm too shy. Build up their confidence, get them to the point where they are really confident, and say, oh my God, you would have never have done a testimonial 3 months ago. How about now? You're buzzing, you're full of energy. I'll be like, yeah, I'll do anything. Okay, and this is a great way to get testimonials. Number 4, I've talked about this already. I'm doing 101 fitness business tips, and I've got a series. I'm on part 6, which is coming up soon, guys, on Periscope. You want to be watching out for that. Okay, so putting together a series that people want to come back for. What it does is it's called an open loop, which is basically, people are like, I want the next part of the series. So maybe you do a series on fat loss. Maybe you do a series on muscle building. Maybe you do a series on overeating. Whether you train people with kettlebells or whatever you do. That's right, guys. Double tap the screen if you love and are enjoying the tips. The double taps on the screen basically shows me that you're interested. Also, is the social currency of Periscope. So, guys, let's see how many hearts we can get all the way up to the end of the episode. So I want to see hearts all the way through. And I love doing these Periscopes for you guys. So, yeah, put together a series. Put together an awesome series that people want, people can get value from, and I guarantee that you're going to draw a lot of people in. Robert said, did you know Periscope limits the hearts to just 500 per person? I didn't actually know that. I actually thought that I've actually seen people that have given me many more than that. So maybe it's a new feature. They are updating things all the time. Welcome also, Aidan, to Periscope. Supplement and product reviews. Maybe you've tried out a new supplement that you like. Maybe there's something that you don't like to promote. Controversial? Yeah, of course. I mean, there's the products that everyone sells because they need to make effing money, and there's the products that people sell because they effing work. So, I believe that the positive product reviews are just as important as the ones that aren't good and the ones that you should steer people away from. People will appreciate when you steer them away from buying stuff that they shouldn't buy, and they will buy the stuff if they trust you. If I told you guys, honestly, answer now, yes or no. If I told you about a product or something that I've used and it's helped me grow my business and give profit to me, answer yes or no. Would you most likely buy that if you thought it would help you? You most likely would if there's trust, okay? If you don't know the person, you've got to build up that trust first, okay? So supplement product reviews, those types of things, those are going to work very well. People are answering yes. Thank you, Robert. your personal stories. I've publicly shared my addiction, gambling stories on blogs. But there's going to be a time in the future where I've overcome some stuff and I'm going to share a personal story in the breakthrough. Maybe with some relationship stuff that I've had going on, some other things going on. So, this is a new and better way to connect. For example, guys, I've been bitten by mosquitoes for days now. And I think this is something very personal that you need to know, that maybe I will be live on Periscope showing you guys all the bites. You guys aren't really going to be interested in that. You get the point. But I'm talking about personal stories, things that are going to motivate. Maybe you struggled at one point to lose weight and now you're a trainer. Maybe you had something going on in your personal life that people are going to relate to. Well, you can't get any more real than on Periscope, okay? So this is really important. What else? So motivation days. Maybe you have a motivational Monday. Maybe you create an editorial calendar where it's like, this is what I do on each day. And on Mondays, people know that at a specific time, on a specific day, it's Motivational Monday, and you're putting together and you're reading out some quotes on stuff that's maybe inspired you. And people are going to want to come back to that. So motivational days and theming your Periscopes. I'm in a series at the moment of the 101. So I've not got to the theming stage, and I may implement that. And I've got a whole new strategy coming up that you guys are going to want to watch if you're and get involved in if you sign up for Fitproscope, fitproscope.com. There's a cheeky little promotion there. So Gym Cam, this is another cool one. Putting up the iPhone in the gym so that people just see people working out, and you have that live running for maybe a 30-minute session. So it's that kind of, I've seen people do that who have got studios and who've got a webcam set up, and it's just like in the gym that people can see people working out, and go to the website and have like live cam in the gym. Guys, this is really cool shit. Good stuff, and you can use Periscope in the same fashion. Maybe certain times a day, maybe certain days of the week, maybe certain times of the month, that, you have a gym cam going on. Another one, and the final one, number 10, is whiteboard tutorials. I've done this in my Fitproscope training, which is, putting stuff on whiteboards, and someone's just said, don't stand with the light behind you. Exactly. There you go, guys. I'm going to do that for the rest of the Periscope for you. You can see that I am trying hard. And I'll be honest, guys, this is what I love about Periscope. It's just real, and people like real. There's a light behind me. Didn't prepare for that properly. There you go. Like, shock you guys with the light right now. And it's I'm having fun, and I don't care. All right, it's fun, and people, people like the authenticity. People like that it's not all perfect. If I do a proper funnel, a marketing funnel, I may shoot it with my 550D and mic it up and do all this stuff. With Periscope, is not about that. It's about being raw, authentic, real, and a shiny light. There you go. So something I want to warn you guys about, and I've talked about this previously on Periscopes, is trolls. Okay, there are certain people, because you're live, they're going to want to say stuff. They're going to want to say the F word. They're going to want to call you a dickhead. They're going to want to do all sorts of things. Very simple. As soon as it comes up, hit the button, block them. You won't see them again. People have a lot of fear around that. People won't even do Periscopes because of that, because of the fear around being judged. And let's be honest, and if you listen to the last episode with Wes, then we know that a lot of trainers went into the industry because they had a lack of confidence and then got confident. Okay, so then if you think about going onto a platform like Periscope where you may get judged and you may have people say nasty stuff, most people don't want to deal with that. That's something that I've had to work on over the years, and now it doesn't even, if someone said now, C word, and you're talking shit on Periscope, honestly, it would not even, I would just laugh at it, because I know that, because I've done enough psychology training, I've worked with people like Tony Robbins, I know that they're just doing that to stimulate get attention for themselves, and to get a feeling from themselves, and to try and put me down to make themselves feel better. So I know it's their own stuff going on. People think it's about you, and it's not about you. It's always about them if people troll. So you're going to get people, especially if you're broadcasting, and you're doing a very broad topic and attracting a lot of people in. You may get 1,000 people on your Periscope, if you name it right. So expect people to come on and just know how to deal with it, okay? And if you do get phased a little bit, then you can always turn the camera away or do whatever. But over time, we'll just get used to it. So another key thing, Periscope isn't just about the live, okay? Periscope is a lot about the replays. So you need to prep for the replays and letting people know that you can give hearts even during the replays. Something worth mentioning is that the replays are only up for 24 hours. Okay, so the replays are only up for 24 hours, and the reason that they've done that, obviously, is to get people to watch instead of going, well, I could watch it in a week's time. It gets people to action now, which is really important when it comes to marketing. So people know there's a time frame. There's only 24 hours, and one of the other tips is that when you do a Periscope, it also records to your camera roll. Okay, so then what you can do is you can leverage that recording and put it up to YouTube. Okay, so you can leverage the content. It's not just about the content here, but it's also about what you can do with the content and spit it out onto other social media once you've got it. Naming your Periscope, I've talked about that, the importance of properly naming your Periscopes to get the most leverage. So, guys, what are, for those of you watching, what are your top questions about Periscope that I can help you answer? Just pop into the chat box now and tell me what your biggest question is about Periscope. And we're going to do this live right now as the guys are watching. Hopefully, someone's going to come up with a question, and it isn't too shy to share with me. And guys, as I mentioned before on this episode, it's such a massive, massive platform, and I'm teaching you guys this stuff early so that you can get ahead of the game. Always say, Robert said, always say hello to the replays at the very start as they can see you before the live comes on. Yes, that's a very good tip. Have you guys got any questions? Hit me with some questions. I was asked earlier, how often should you do a Periscope? Do them as often as you like. You should put out content out there as when you feel it. If you're feeling passionate, if you're feeling, damn, this would make a good Periscope, that's the time to do it. Yes, you can schedule it, but you've got to think of when your market is there. You've got to think about when is your audience mostly going to be by their phone. If you're a trainer, then the majority of people are going to be by their phones probably 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening. You may tap into some people during the day, but it depends on the market, okay? Depends. Business people, they're going to be there all the time. So, that's an important one. But most of all, if something inspires me, then I'll put it out in the moment. So, guys, on Periscope, pop in a question. Do you have a question about Periscope? It would really help me, okay, if you use this time to ask a question about Periscope. Another question I got was how to upload to YouTube. Well, on your phone, it's very easy. It just records to your camera roll, you hit a button, and then you can upload it instantly to YouTube. So that's a really, really good way to leverage. If you just also, come on, make sure that you follow me. And here we've got a question. Is it best for you to do the exercises or you be teaching someone else? That's a very good one. I believe that both would be highly beneficial and you should vary that. And most of all, test, see what gets the biggest reaction. But you could definitely do something low on a mats, an ab mat, something like that. Or you could be teaching something. You just got to bear in mind the audio. So if you're teaching someone else, then you're going to want to go further away. In that case, the audio may not pick up. If you're doing something quite close to you, you can get someone to hold it. You're going to have to be quite loud and talk. But I've got a mic here, which really helps. But with exercise, that's going to be quite difficult because it's going to be too close to the camera, unless you've got a radio mic, which I don't think you can even get for the iPhone. If there is a radio mic for the iPhone, please let me know. I would love that. How professional should you keep your Periscopes? Guys, Periscope is all about being the authentic you. So you can keep them professional, but it's my belief in the way that I've built my business and the way that I get my clients to. Be goofy, be funny. If you want to throw an F-bomb occasionally, if that's you, then do it. People want to, like I say, people are going to want to see you, but they also want to see content. But they're going to want to see content from the authentic you. My personality can change. I can be zen and meditating 1 minute. I can be throwing F-bombs around it the next. It depends on what gets me fired up and how I react. And people are getting the true me. So I think that's key. When is the best time of day to broadcast? Again, you're going to find out. For me, I know that around 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, UK time, is a great time for me. A lot of the guys in the UK, but I also coach people and mentor business professionals all around the world too. So I've got clients in Australia, I've got them in the US, and all over the world. But for me, with a lot of clients being in the UK, that may change as I move into. I'm hoping to get to visa to move to the States, but that may change over time. So it really does depend on where you are, but you've got to test. write links on the whiteboard or card to tell people and tell people to screenshot. Yeah, this is also another thing which I've done, which works quite well, is if you get people to take a screenshot on their iPhone and then tag you and upload it to Facebook, and that gives you more interaction, which is pretty cool. Right, guys, hello to the guys live on Periscope watching. If you've got any more questions, pop them in. But I'm going to wrap up this episode. Guys, Periscope is such a huge platform. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. You guys on Periscope, it would be awesome if you head to iTunes and mention the Periscope episode. If you go there, I will see it and loving interacting with you. Most of all, you want to add me to Periscope. If you've not done this already, guys, listening on the podcast, then add up Boy Lovell, BoyLovell on Periscope. So, just to wrap up, you're going to have to overcome fear. You're going to have to get out your comfort zone. You're going to have to make sure you're providing good content, providing good value. But as this platform grows, as this platform starts to hit its peak, and you're already moving forward, you've already got the techniques, you're already more advanced, you're starting to be creative. That's what I love about Periscope. You can be creative. You can be on the beach giving tips. You can, be doing wacky things. There's so many crazy things that you could do with fitness. It is unbelievable. And I'm so excited to be sharing that in Fitproscope as that builds over the next year or so. Guys, I will see you on the next episode of the Fitpreneurs. Your action step on this episode is to add me to Periscope so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, make sure you follow me. But the action step for this episode is for you guys to just do your first Periscope. You do it with some tips, something you're confident about. Get it out there, push it out there, overcome the fear, and let me know how you get on. I would love to find out. Guys, I will see you in the next episode of the Fitpreneurs. Take it easy, and see you guys live on Periscope next time. Take it easy.
Guys, thanks for the killer episode. Listen, if you want to take your fitness business to the next level, terminate your competition, create ultimate freedom, buy new houses, cars, which could blow up, travel the world, or open your own gym where you can lift really heavy weights, then head to www.thefitpreneurs.com/free call for details on how to apply for your free accelerator call. Until the next episode, hasta la vista, Fit Pros.